Hello, everybody. It's Murialda here once again, and welcome back to episode number 67, take two of Let's Browse. Woohoo! Yes, party! Take two, you say? Yes, this is the second time I'm recording this because yesterday I derped up and halfway through I muted myself, and it wasn't a good thing. Now, you may be asking yourself, where's Murialda been? Why haven't these episodes been out for the past couple weeks? Well, I don't really want to get into all the little nitty gritty details, but let's just TLDR it and say May has been very mean to me and it has not been a good time. So yeah, some things came up that prevented me from recording episodes. But that doesn't stop the pretty plastic from coming. So yay, let's look at our suggestions. And ooh, pretty. So our first suggester today is Oppa. And Oppa has suggested a figure that I have already bought and we talked about pretty recently. Because of the 2-week delay and everything, the normal rules are being thrown out the window for this episode. So there's going to be people with more than 2 suggestions, and they may have been suggested recently. But yeah, going forward, remember 2 suggestions per person, and no suggestions from the last 2 episodes. I think it was. I don't know. But just be reasonable. Anyways, Yatogami Tooka. I ordered her. It is Neko Tooka. She will go very, very nicely with my kitty Kurumi. Anyways, Yatogami Tooka from Date Alive. This is from Kadokawa. She is a 1/7 scale figure and is supposed to come out in September of 2018 and is priced at 13,800 yen. I paid at Amiyami, or I will pay, somewhere around $122.35. So let's look at her pictures. So she is eating a little bread. She has Neko ears. She has a tail. She has a bright, curious look on her face. Big, big, wide open eyes. Very round, and a little mouth. Her one hand is in the shape of a little kitty cat paw. The other hand is holding the bread. She has a nice little pink and white dress on. It's got a couple layers. She's got some nice flesh on her. She's got some cute little shoes with bows on them with very long ribbons. I would not recommend wearing bows like that on your feet because you will step on these and get them dirty and trip. And if we look real closely, you can see around the edge of her shoe, she has some sculpted toes, even though you're not really going to see them. She is sitting on a little cat scratching post base. So you got the scratching post, you got the little platform, you got the pink base, and she is just cute. And I clicked the wrong thing. Let's bring her back. There is some people have complained, and I can see this. I kind of agree. The face is maybe a little bit off. It doesn't necessarily look like Toka's face, but it's still, the overall look of her is close enough that I just had to buy it. It was an instant buy. I really want a Tooka figure. And as I said, she will go great with Kitty Kurumi. Now, Kitty Kurumi wasn't the best quality figure, but everything that I bought her for is there, and it is amazing and yummy. And yeah, I believe I will be very pleased with Tooka when she comes home. But anyways, from this angle, we see that she is wearing a collar. On this hand, they have sculpted the fingers a little bit individually, but you can see like right here, the pinky and the ring finger are welded together at the knuckle. The ring and middle are kind of to the second knuckle and everything like that. Also, when we zoom in, we can see the assembly seam lines. They're pretty nasty looking. But I think in the final product, they'll improve that a little bit, and it won't be as horrible. The bread she is eating is quite textured. And her hair is very detailed. There's lots of strands in it, lots of like lighter purple and darker purple shadings. And yeah, she's just cute. Nice little kitty collar. It doesn't look like she has any teeth. She also has a human set of ears. There she is sitting in someone's office on her platform. And she's just looking all cute. From this angle, she looks like she's kind of hunched down a little bit, eating her bread. She's not letting anyone else get that bread. It's hers. Yes. Yum, 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 yum. We see that she also has matching bows on either side of her head underneath the little kitty cat ears. The cat ears have little tufts of fur in them. I'm sure it's just a headband, but whatever. Her hair's in a ponytail. Best hairstyle ever, yes. She's got some very nice flesh tones and nice legs on her. And her shoes are actually high heels, and they are shiny and glossy and everything, and they just look cute. Once again, that would be a tripping hazard. If we look from the back, we see her hair goes from it has a gradient in it. There's lots of strands, lots of sculpting, and it goes from a dark purple to a lighter purple, which is a nice little touch. And yeah, the dress, I mean, it's a pretty plain and simple dress, but it's got lots of folds in it and ruffles and everything, so it's quite detailed for being plain, and it fits her. I'm not the biggest fan of pink, but sometimes pink just looks damn good on these girls. Yeah. Honestly, there's not much more to say about her other than she's cute, and if you like her, you should have bought her. Because I bought her. Yes, Tooka. So moving on. Whoops. We will see a neppy neppy nep. And we will go to Chalk-Crow, who has suggested some figures for us to look at. So the first one is Arsene from Tante Opera Milky Homes. She is manufactured by Good Smile Company and is a 1/8 scale figure. She came out January 10th of 2012, so she's over 6 years old now. And she was priced at 6,476 yen. Hot damn, I wish those prices were current. And if we scroll down in the aftermarket, she has gone down in price. So, wow. So we'll click on her and we'll look at her, and we shall see she is definitely showing off a lot of cleavage and belly and hip flesh and everything. She is wearing a mask. She has a stupid tiny little crown on her head. Stupid tiny crowns. Her hair is kind of in a ponytail, but it's a side ponytail, and it ends in a little bit of a drill. She's got a little smile on her face. She's got lots of cleavage, lots of side boob. Her outfit is very glossy and shiny. I think it's supposed to represent like patent leather. She is wearing a cape with a very long, big, giant collar and everything. It's nice, shiny red on the inside. It's got some billows and folds and everything. And yeah, she doesn't look bad. This does have the older anime style look to it, so the facial style and everything, and it's not necessarily my favorite, but hey, if you like it, you like it, and she looks to be pretty good. We see down here she has a clear blue disc base, and it's got a little pattern painted on it in black. Looks kind of like a wrought iron fence. There she is next to Charlotte, I think. I don't know. I don't know her name, but I know she's a popular figure that I personally don't like. And here we see that she has her mask removed. Yes, it is a removable mask. She is currently resting it on her finger. And she has quite the devious look on her face. She has some teeth in her mouth. Her eyebrows are at a V angle. And her eyes are just squinted just a little bit. Yeah, she definitely looks a little bit devilish. She's cute and all. And honestly, I'm going to change my opinion from yesterday. Yesterday I said she looked better with the mask. Today I'm going to say she looks better without the mask. That's the things with these figures and opinions. They can change. Well, figures don't change, but opinions can. Looking here, doesn't really look like she's wearing much underneath that dress. I'm sure she is, but important questions are not answered right now. There she is in front of her box, and I guess a little bit of artwork over there. Gray prototype boobs. From the back, yeah. Okay, so it looks like she is kind of wearing a leotard, so it is going to cover her crotch area. So that's why we don't see the underwears, because she's wearing a leotard. The cape, once again, the back is quite shiny. It's black. It's ruffly and billowy. The boots look very detailed, very nice around the knee and the ankle area. And yeah, you're not really going to display her from the back because it's kind of boring. The back of her hair does have some sculpting, and you can see the hair being pulled up into that side ponytail. So yeah, that's Arsene, and if you like her, she's actually at a pretty decent price, I think, so you can buy her and get her and have her in your collection. Even her little belly button is sculpted beneath those lacings. So yeah. Since she is released, 246 pictures of her by trusty users. We'll just do a quick scan. Yep. There's your quick scan. Moving on, we have Galko-chan from Oshiete Galko-chan. She is manufactured by Max Factory and is a 1/6 scale figure. She came out in February 1st of 2017 and was priced at 14,630 yen. And the price has remained pretty stable. Now this Galko-chan is one that I personally do not like. I really do not think they did a good job on her face. Her body is pretty good, her bag accessories is good, but her face, in my opinion, is just bad. She is quite detailed, which we'll see as we get some closer pictures, but her skirt is in the plaid pattern. She is wearing a little vest and a little shirt. She is making a peace sign with her one hand and holding the other hand. She is walking up some stairs, so you know you would get a panty shot if you were below her. And I'm pretty sure that the important question, the answer is white. She has quite a few charms and straps on her bag. And her hair has a little bun and a little scrunchie with a little tendril of hair flying out from it. There's the original artwork that she is based off of, and I think the face in the artwork is much better than in the figure. So she comes with a pair of glasses you can put on her face if you so desire. She has some teeth, and it looks like she has 2 moe fangs. She's wearing a little blue earring. She's got like a Target watch, so I guess she shops at Target. Galko is a thicker woman, so she's got some meat on her bones. She's got the big boobs. And as I was saying before, look at all the detail in the hair. You got all these sculpted strands. There's shading, there's waves, there's curls and everything. The hair is very well done. But as I said, I'm not the biggest fan of the face. Someone is trying to attempt to answer the important questions, but we are being blocked by a little doggy accessory. So there she is, kind of from the front-ish view. She's got the big giant boobs. She got the big bow on her chest. Got the scrunchie around her wrist. From this angle, the hair doesn't necessarily look the greatest. I mean, yes, there is lots of details, but it's so layered, and there's just strands glued on top of each other. You get all these seam lines, and as I said, doesn't look the greatest. There she is compared to an iPhone, whatever. It's an iPhone, fuck iPhones. But yeah, she is quite tall, being a 1/6 and all. So now we can start to see like her face. Being a gal, she wears a lot of makeup. And actually, the makeup doesn't look horrible. I do love her blue eyes. Big giant boobs. There's details of all the little bag accessories. They are quite detailed. Let's get a close-up of her face from the angle that really looks bad. Come on. Come on. We can do it. We're not going to get that close-up. I swear I saw it the other day. Maybe in some user pictures. Lots of user pictures. We'll just open that to see some other Galkos. And yes, important questions answered. They're bluish white. Now, I know I saw a picture, and I didn't have to go through all these. Oh well. We do what we have to make do with what we have to make do with. So we'll look here. So I think the proportions of her face are strange a little bit, and like it's very, very wide above at her temples and very thin at the mouth, and it's just got an odd shape to it. This isn't necessarily a bad picture or anything, and it actually looks kind of decent, but I swear I've seen some that it just looks very misshapen. So if you don't believe me, you don't have to believe me. You can buy her, find out for yourself, and prove me wrong. But yes, you can see she definitely has two moai fangs, and I love her eyes. And the hair is sculpted very nicely. And here's a couple different Galkos. So yay. Tamamo, 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 and another babe. So we shall move on to Gordon. And Gordon has lots of suggestions because it's been quite a few weeks since we've had an episode. So the first suggestion is Mashed Kyrielight from Fate Grand Order. This is by Vispo. She is a garage kit. This is the Dangerous Beast version. She's had lots of little releases at lots of different festivals. And she was priced at 15,000 yen. Yes, garage kits are expensive, and really it all comes down to how good you are at assembling, painting, and fixing little flaws. So yeah, for me, I will not get a garage kit because they're crazy expensive, and I suck at painting and assembly and stuff. So it would be throwing money away. But Vispo, whoever at Vispo put her together and painted her, did an exquisite job. I really love the way that this one looks. I do still think that Tamamo wears the Dangerous Beast outfit better, but Tamamo doesn't have a figure of her as a Dangerous Beast. MASH does. So she is kneeling on a chair. It is a pretty ornate armchair. Got the black and orange, or brown and orange colorings. I just noticed it's kind of got a jack-o'-lantern back cushion. She has lots of fur accents. So you got fur in the ears. You got a very fluffy, furry tail with lots and lots of details, sculpting details, shading details, highlights, lowlights, all that good stuff. Fur around her shoulders, around her biceps and her wrists and her hips and her knee socks and her ankles, and of course, a fur bra. Yes, covering all the important bits. From this angle, we see, yes, she has very large boobs, and she has a sculpted belly button. From this angle, the mouth does look a little bit strange, but you're not meant to look at her from this angle, and if you do, you're going to be staring at the boobs. But she's kind of got the emo hairstyle, so one eye showing and the other eye covered with her hair. We do see that she is kind of wearing gloves, and the gloves have claws at the tips of them, so that's a nice little touch. And once again, very detailed fur accents. And yeah, I mean, she just looks pretty dang good. They also decided, instead of painting her in her standard purple, they painted her white. And honestly, it's a toss-up between them. They both look absolutely amazing. I do personally kind of prefer the white a little bit more, but at the same time, it has like less shading because it's just white. You can't really put a whole lot of black and gray in there. So the shading I think is a little bit better on the purple one, but I kind of like the white one a little bit better. But yeah, she has her big giant boobs. She has a very shapely, squeezable booty, big bow on her back, probably what attaches the tail to her. She has some high heel shoes on. And yeah, just cute. You got the moai fang. She's got the little devilish smile and grin and everything. She's sexy, and she knows it, and she knows she's tempting you. So yeah, honestly, if this was made into a scale figure, I would very, very seriously consider buying it. Look at that booty. She is wearing a thong, and it is black. Yeah, look at the booties. And look at the boobies. So yeah, she is very cute. If it was a scale figure, pre-painted and everything, I would very seriously consider buying it, as it is a garage kit. Yeah, it's not going to happen for me, at least. If you do buy her and you put her together, post pictures in the Discord, please. So we shall now move on to one that Gordon is very excited about and is affectionately calling a cat girl boat. Yes, cat girl boat! It is Hammann from Azure Lane. She is manufactured by Plum. This is her Kai version. She is a 1/7 scale figure, and she is supposed to come out in July of 2018, priced at 15,800 yen. Now, she did just go up for order, and she is supposed to come out in July, so there's not a whole lot of time. Personally, from Plum's past history, I do believe that they can make that deadline without having to delay her. It's kind of like what happened with Oncidium. But Plum's quality can be questionable at times. Sometimes it's very, very good. Sometimes it's not the greatest. So they are kind of rushing this one, so I'd be a little afraid about the quality on her. But as I said, sometimes they are very good, and it's up to you if you want to buy it or not. So yes, Hammann is a cat girl boat, so she's got little kitty cat ears, she's got bow on her head, she is blushing, she is kind of embarrassed because she's lifting her skirt up for you. She is more of a loli type character, so she is quite flat-chested in the anime world. And she has some gun parts behind her. She's wearing some thigh-high stockings with some garter straps holding up her like torpedo launchers. She's got a couple guns on her boat, each with a single cannon, and she's got some long flowing gray hair. And looking at her, I absolutely adore her face. I just love this facial expression. I love the mouth, how it's all squiggly and everything. I love the blush effect, works perfectly for her, and the eye shape and everything. I love her face. Problem is, she is looking downwards. So if you want to see her face, you're going to have to put her up above your head. And for me, that would basically mean putting her on the ceiling. So yeah. But at least right now, like the little trim line right there, the black line, is fairly clean. The rest of her looks to be sculpted and painted pretty cleanly, pretty nicely. Don't see any major flaws, but this is a prototype. Yes, there we are, looking from below. Important questions, not answered yet. But you get a good shot of her face from this angle, but once you look at her from straight on, it's not going to be as good. There she is kind of from the side, so you see all the details and everything that you can see. Come on. Here is another thing I am afraid of. I am afraid that this is the base you're going to get, which sucks. It is a very ugly base. It's purple. It's a hexagon. It's got a purple support rod that is ugly. It's not hidden or anything. This is a crappy base. But I'm afraid that's the one that you're going to get if you order this cat girl boat. Here she is with the clear disc, or clear hexagon base, which I think looks a lot better than purple. But it's still, they could do better. So Hammann, I believe, is a U.S. boat, so you got the stars and stripes on her ribbon. So yes, red and white stripes and the blue field with the white stars. From the back, we get a gray prototype shot of her back, but I know from experience, like doing this yesterday, that we do get some color pictures of her from the back eventually. So we'll just skip past the gray prototypes and look at some pretty pictures. So here we are seeing her from the back. So her ship parts do attach to her midsection, her torso. It has a big smokestack and everything, and it's got little arms extending out to the guns, and back of her hair is kind of a flat blob. Get a couple of ribbons and everything. Another problem with this one which I believe this is how it's going to turn out. The ship parts look very plasticky and cheap. So I know with a lot of like Good Smile's Kantai collection line, the ship parts are very well detailed and sculpted very nicely and painted very nicely, and they almost look like they're made out of metal. This is obviously plastic. It doesn't even look like they painted it at all. They just molded some gray plastic. So it's kind of, like I said, it kind of just feels cheap to me. So yeah, that's the Cat Girl boat. Sorry, Gordon, I'm not going to do the Moyo links and Moyo pictures, but we will look at her from Akiba Weekend. So yes, here she is in a store, the USS Hammann Kais from Plum. And if we scroll down a bit, eventually the important question will be answered. We've already talked about her enough, so I'm not really going to say much. We just want to scroll down and see all these nice little pretty pictures. So yeah, it's an Azure Lane figure, which is kind of a clone of Kantai Collection, but with different girls. And the designs, I am really liking the designs in Azure Lane, so yeah, we hope they keep making them. And eventually, as I said, come on. Yes, the important questions have been answered. They are white, little red bow on the front. And there's the information if you can read it. So yay. The next one that Gordon has suggested is one that's not allowed on MFC because it is manufactured by My Ethos and it is not of a Japanese origin. So it's not allowed on MFC, which is something I don't agree with, but it is what it is. So I can't read her name. I don't know what it says, but it is a kind of Grim Reaper girl. Yeah, Grim Reaper girl. So she has a big giant scythe. She is standing on top of a skeleton which looks like a dragon skeleton. She has a heart made out of spines, and there are some skulls on a little ornament and everything. She is smiling and happy girl. And yeah, she looks to be pretty detailed. One thing that I do like, which you don't see very often in these gray prototypes, is they used multiple tones of gray. So you can actually see some details by the different colors of gray, which is a nice little touch. From the front, we do see she is showing off lots of cleavage, but it does appear that, unfortunately, it is welded cleavage. We do see like her hair ornament is like a skeleton hand grabbing her head. She has some long twin tails, which appear to be sculpted pretty nicely, and they have a nice flow to them. This one goes through the little heart. This one actually rests and is like flipped over the heart, which is a nice little touch. She's got some long legs on her, nice knee, nice calf. And yes, that's a little dragon, even though the rib cage is upside down. A lot of this figure will depend on the paint because, you know, the detail and soul of a figure really lies in the paint job. I mean, you can have the best sculpt, but if the paint sucks, it sucks. And the reason I'm saying that is if you look at her eyes right now, they're just blank. They're just little circles. So, yeah. My Ethos, from what I can tell, is a pretty dang good company. They do delay quite a bit, so there is that. But what the Stardust I have of theirs is pretty good. So I think this will turn out to be a pretty nice figure. And if you like her, you'll eventually be able to buy her, but you won't be able to put her in your collection on MFC. We do see she has a little skull ornament on her collar. And she has some straps around her waist, it looks like. Got a ring on her middle finger. That's a nice little touch. And yes, welded boobs. well-did boobs, but they have a nice shape to them. And she has a booty. And if we zoom in a little bit, we do see that she is not going commando, so there is an important question that will need to be answered once the paint is done. So yeah, moving on. Now we have Takagi-san from Karikai Jozu no Takagi-san. This is by Fat Company and is a 1/7 scale figure. She is supposed to come out in January of 2019, so expect her in January of 2020. She is priced at 13,800 yen. So we shall look at Takagi. And, I mean, one second. Had to cough. I'm pretty sure I unmuted myself. So if I did mute myself, I am going to just cry. But yes. So this is a relatively simple figure, but it's deceptive in its simpleness. It's actually does have quite a bit of detail in there. The detail is not in the hair. It is very smooth and flat, not a whole lot of sculpting, not a whole lot of shading, but it is her hairstyle. It frames her face nicely. She is sitting at a nice little school desk on a little chair. She's got quite a few accessories, and the accessories are very detailed. We do see she is wearing a skirt which has some nice pleats in it, and it's got some good shading as well. Her shirt has some good shading in the wrinkling area. And she has a very cute face. So here we see a shot of her book that she is studying from. She has a little eraser, and I'm not sure what she is studying right now. You got some fruits and vegetables, and you got some people talking to each other. So maybe home ec, maybe language arts. I don't know. Yeah, but they're studying something. She's got a little pencil box. And you can see she has a little writing paper, so you got all the lines and everything. From this angle, the face, this isn't a good picture. From this angle, it definitely isn't a good picture because you see the big giant line where her fringe attaches. It's just plain smooth black brown hair. And she does have a very large forehead. Not the biggest fan of her forehead. But it is what it is, and it does match the style of what she looks like in the show. They did at least they took an extra step with her hands in that they sculpted her fingers all individually, which is a nice touch. They very easily could have just given her a blob hand with a couple lines drawn on it, but they did sculpt the little dainty fingers. There she is from the back. She is a thin girl. And yeah, from this angle, I really do like her face. And even though I've complained about her big forehead before, with the way that the hair is framing it, I think she looks really, really cute right now. And, you know, she's just looking off to the side. I love how she's resting her hand on her chin on her hand. And yeah. She's just having a good time. She's thinking about how to tease her friend, who I've already forgotten his name. Nishitaka, I think it just popped in. But yeah, she is the star of the show. She can get a little... Well, the show can get a little bit annoying, but it was decent enough. So yeah, Takagi-san. If you like her, you can buy her. Just don't expect her anytime soon, because it's Fat Company. So moving on, we have another Tamamo, and Kiyohime, and all these other characters. Yeah. So yeah, moving on, we have By LS. And By LS has suggested a couple idols for us. The first one is Tadarina from Idolmaster Cinderella Girls. She is manufactured by Alter and is a 1/8 scale figure. She came out September 27th of 2016 and was priced at 11,800 yen. Aftermarket wise, price has stayed pretty much rock solid steady. So we'll click on her and we'll look at her. And we see that she is an idle girl. She is a happy girl, so big happy girl smile. No teeth in that mouth, but it is a deep mouth. She has some green eyes, and she is wearing kind of a blue and black and white themed outfit. She is wearing some like wrist warmers, and it looks like she's supposed to be holding a guitar. She is wearing some headphones, and the headphones have some little Neko ears on it. She's got the ruffly skirt and everything. I do like the multi-tone. Yeah, the multi-tone of the skirt. So you got a dark blue and you got the light blue trim. She's got a belt, and she's got some knee-high boots with some little knee guards. The boots have a blue heel and sole. Her hairstyle is pretty unique. I do like this little intake vent style that she's got going right there. So that little bit of detail. Facial expression is maybe a little bit off. It's kind of like her mouth is a little crooked. If you think about how her head is tilted and everything. There she is next to Miku, who we will talk about in a little bit. So there is her guitar. So yes, she does come with a guitar. It's got a strap. She is holding a pick in the other hand, and she is holding it. It is a Rock brand guitar. And it does appear to have the fishnets or fishing line strings. It's a gold color with a white inlay. Honestly, the guitar does look like a little cheap plastic accessory, but it is detailed, very detailed. It is what it is. And honestly, with that hand positioning, she needs to be holding something, so you gotta have that. We do see she is kind of a fit girl, but you got a little bit of definition around her belly. She's got a belly button as well. She's reasonably modest sized boobs, so not oversized or anything. Yeah, I mean, she just looks like a happy girl. She's got what looks like a little crown on her necklace. The stupid little tiny crowns. Blah. At least it's not on her head this time. From the back, yes, we get a back shot. They need to take more back shots, I think. We see the hair is kind of meh. It's just kind of there. You got a couple spikes and everything, but meh. She is wearing a vest, which has a very big collar on it, and it is popped. And yeah, overall, once again, you're not going to want to display this one from the back, in my opinion. So if you like her, you can get her, but just make sure you save some money because you got to complete the set with Maikawa Miku from Idolmaster Cinderella Girls, once again by Alter, once again 1/8 scale, came out September 31st of 2016, and is priced at 11,800 yen. Now in the aftermarket, she is once again pretty stable, so prices haven't changed much for these two. Take a drink of water. So Miku is more of a like pinkish red, black and white color scheme. She is wearing boots which have a red sole and heel. She has some stockings which appear to be held up with a little garter strap. She's got a little bell on her bracelet. She's got some fluff around her wrists. She is wearing some cat ears, and she's got a floofy cat tail. Once again, she is a happy idol girl, so big happy girl smile. Nice green eyes. This time, I think the smile does fit into the face a little bit better. It's at more of a correct angle, in my opinion. There's the two idols together. And yeah, there is Miku. We do see lots of little details. We'll move on to bigger pictures. I do think that they did her hair a little bit better. It's got a little more detail in there, and it looks like it's got a little bit of shading. I like the color better. And she has the bonus of the best hairstyle ever, the ponytail. We do see some frills around her straps of her top and around her waist, which is a nice little touch. She's got a big heart ornament on her collar, and if we look, she has a couple fangs. Yes, she is the Neko of the group. So her hands are kind of in the cat paw pose, and she's got maybe slightly bigger boobs, and I do like the vertical stripes on her top. She's got a big purple flower on her chest covering her cleavage, and honestly the flower looks really cheap and blob. So, but it is what it is. There she is from the back. Once again, the hair looks much better than Rina's. Much more detail, much better shading and everything. So yeah, still would want to display her from the front, but she looks decent from the back as well. So of the two, I definitely would prefer Miku. So yeah, there's the two idols. One of these days, I will learn my hotkeys. That's what I wanted to do. There we go. Get a nice little doggy girl. So now, we shall move on to I'm a life form known as Manuel. Yes, and Manuel has suggested Lucy Heartfilia from Fairy Tale. This one is by Orca Toys. She is in her swimsuit gravure style version. She is a 1/6 scale figure. She's supposed to come out in November of 2018, so don't expect her until November of 2019. She is priced at 16,800 yen. And this Lucy is on my maybe list, because it's Lucy, and I like Lucy. But there is something. She is a 1/6 scale figure, but she is only 8 3/4 inches tall. That's pretty dang small for a 1/8 or 1/6 scale figure. And just to kind of prove it, I already own this one. This is the White Cat gravure style of her. It's also by Orca Toys, and it's also a 1/6 scale figure, but she's 9.5 inches tall, and she's leaning over her a bit. So it's the same character, but different heights. I mean, this Lucy, yeah, she is kind of maybe leaning to the side a little bit, but she is standing more straight up, so you would think she would be taller. But anyways, that is what it is. Let's look at her pictures. So, obviously, Lucy is a very busty girl. Yes, she has big giant boobs. She is wearing a white bikini with blue trim and some gold ornaments. She is wearing a belt, which has her key pouch attached. She does have a little scrunchie around her ankle and around her wrist. She is a happy girl. Big open mouth smile. It's a deep smile, and she's got teeth. She's got some eyes that are looking up to the side, and she's just prancing around in a happy girl. She's got some yellow hair and everything. Belly button is very well defined. We can see her rib cage a bit. See some good cleavage. See lots of under boob, lots of side boob, lots of cleavage boob. And despite being super busty, she is kind of prancing around, so of course her boobs are flopping all over the place. Her strap is, this boob is coming up, so the strap is actually pretty loose and giving us quite the strap gap. In case you don't know, I love strap gap. One thing I'm not the biggest fan on this figure is she's got a camel toe, and honestly I don't think it looks the greatest. But it is what it is. There she is from the back, so as you can see in her thigh area, she is a little thick, a little bit of meat on the bones. She has quite the nice squeezable booty on her. Lots of cushion for the pushing. Her bikini bottoms are definitely riding up and giving her the wedgie. It's actually got a realistic sculpt to it, I think. We see her shoulder blades. We see the ties of her bikini top. And yeah, from the back looks pretty decent. So here's a shot of her from a lower angle, and I think the camel toe is definitely more pronounced. could just be the shading and shadows and everything, but I wish it didn't have that. Also from this angle, we see that she has a very long neck, and it looks a little strange, but it could just be the angle that we're looking at her from. Her head also does feel maybe a little bit small compared to her boobs. So once you see that, like this picture, the head definitely feels small. It does not appear to be super cold wherever she is, so she is not perky, but I mean, she is squeezy. She's squishy. Her hair, at least the front, is kind of meh. It's just like a yellow. There is strands and everything, but it's not really shaded or anything. We do see some nice cleavage there. They got the little strap in front of it. She's got little golden wire detail around her bikini's bottoms. And yeah, I mean, she looks good. There's a couple things that I have a couple little niggles on, but this is not one of them. I really like when they do this. Like, you can't really see it very well, but right there is a little gap between the string and her rib cage. And I love when they put those little gaps where they're supposed to be instead of just making this a solid chunk of plastic. It just adds that much more realism, and I really like it. She's got a nice little booty on it, nice little curve. And yeah, I mean, there's that strap gap. And here it almost looks like the bikini top would be removable, but I'm going to pretty much guarantee it's not. And there's probably, even if you could, there's probably a peg that is stabbing into her breast where the nipple would be. So from the back, the back of her hair looks more detailed than the front. You get a little bit more shading. You get the little strands where it's been pulled into the little pigtails. And yeah, looks pretty good. So as I've said before, this one is on my maybe list. I definitely have spent way too much money. So yeah. It'll stay on the maybe list for a little bit longer. But she is cute. It's Lucy, and I like Lucy. So now we shall move on. Once again, I am sorry, but I can't read your name. I don't know what it says, but there's your name. And this person has suggested Konpaku Youmu from Toho Project. This one is by Embrace Japan. This is the version Oz Milestone Limited Edition distribution. She is not there's no scale listed, but she is only a little over 6.5 inches tall, which I would guess would put her probably 1/12 to 1/10 scale if I had to guess. I have no idea how tall this character really is. She's got a couple of release dates. The first was July 26th of 2014, and then she's getting a re-release supposedly this month. Don't know if that'll happen or not. And she is priced at a nice even 10,000 yen. If you don't want to wait, you can get her for a little bit more at 15,000 yen. So in the aftermarket, she's gone up. So we'll click and we'll look. And we see she has a little ghost skull that is flying around. It's got the little plasma trail and everything behind it. We see she has a couple swords. This one has a pretty unique handle hilt. It's hollow and everything, so it's a nice little touch. She's got some muscular, strong thighs on her. She is wearing some platform high-heeled shoes with some little socks. Her head is one thing I definitely don't care for on this figure. It feels like someone took their hand and put it on top of her head and under her chin and just squeezed. Because it is not tall and it is quite deep. We do see that, like her eyes, she definitely has a lot of eyebrows. or a lot of eyebrows. She has long eyelashes. That's what I meant to say. I'm sorry about that. We also get the answer to the important question already. The answer is white. There's some original artwork of this character. It's not the same pose and everything, but it's kind of what it's based off of. She's kind of got a sad look on her face. So a little frown, just sad looking eyes, but they are nicely detailed, nice red eyes. She has some small but pointy boobs, definitely very pointy. Yeah. Meh. We see a lot of pictures of this one from the back, but not many from the front this time. Here's one from the front. So yes, as I said, she's got very pointy boobs. They are smaller. Her one hand is in a claw shape. The claw, I'm gonna get ya! The hair is just gray blob. It is layered, but it doesn't look the greatest. So yeah, that's a theme with this one. It doesn't look horrible. It's small and it doesn't suit my taste. I'm sure it's a very nice figure, and if you like Toho or you like this character, I'm sure it's one that you would love to have in your collection. But it's just not one for me. So now we shall move on to Rem from ReZero. This one is by Shoyakusha. This is the lingerie version of her. She is a 1/7 scale figure. She is supposed to come out in September of 2018, and once again is priced at a cool 10,000 yen. So we'll click and we'll look at her, and we see it is Rem. She has her nice blue hair. She is wearing a nice white lingerie set. She is standing on a base of white fluff, and she has some nice thigh-high stockings with garter straps and a garter belt, and there's little black bow painted on her panties, and little black bow attached to the clasp of her bra. It is quite detailed. You even get the little strap adjusters on the bra strap and on the garter straps. The frilly lace around the hem of the stockings does look like a flat piece of plastic, though. We do see lots of details in her midsection, so you can see her rib cage, you can see some belly muscles, and you see the belly button. And yeah. I love the saturated look of her blue eye. I think that eye looks very nice. The other eye is there. It's peeking through a little gap, but it's the emo hairstyle, of course. The hair does have a translucent look to it, so this is one thing that is dangerous when figure companies do this, because most of the time when they make the hair out of solid translucent plastic, it really doesn't look the greatest. Right now, it does look decent, and I do kind of like the way that it looks. And honestly, Rem is not best girl. I've said that before, I'll say it again. Rem is not best girl. But this figure, I do like the way that it looks. I'm not going to get it, but I like the way that it looks. I think it is probably one of the better Rem figures. There she is from the back, so we do see she has some shoulder blades. Her spine is trying to break out of the back of her neck, it looks like. She does have a spine line, and she has some nice detailing in the underwear. And nice booty lines and everything. Nice details in the back of the knee, and more garter straps. So yeah, she looks pretty good from the back as well. She's got pretty decent sized boobs. The cleavage does appear to be welded together. Her one hand is kind of in a little paw form, and it looks like she's trying to hold her strap. The other hand is resting against her thigh, and once again, it looks like she's trying to hold this strap down. It's got a little bit of an embarrassed look on her face. What little paint work there is on this one looks to be nice and clean, like the little black lacing and everything, and the little bow on her head looks pretty well sculpted and everything. The little headband ornaments do look a little blobbish. But yeah, as I said, Personally, I do like this one, the way it looks and everything. I think it's one of the better Rem figures. It's not a figure for me, of course. But if you like her, or you like girls in lingerie, it's quite nice lingerie. Yeah, you can get this one. Just, like I said, one of my concerns with her is how the hair is going to look on the final product. So yay. Moving on, we have Champ Huge Balls. And Champ has suggested 2 figures for us, both of which are Kyrielight, Kyoko and Monokuma. So Kyoko is from Danganronpa. This one is from the animation. She is manufactured by Fat Company and is a 1/8 scale figure. She originally came out October 28th of 2014, re-released April 25th of 2017, and was priced at 11,000 yen at the time, and she has more than doubled in price in the aftermarket. So if you like Kyoko, you're going to pay out the nose for her. So we have this one. She's in a gym. She's brought her desk with her, and it's all just being disheveled and everything. You got the little basketball. You got the target behind her. You got the cup ramen just flying in the air. And you got some pink blood splatters all over the place. And you got her PDA. You got Kyoko herself, and you got Monokuma. So there's really a lot going on in this figure, and it's hard for my eye to focus on it, so it's kind of looks too busy for me. There is the artwork that she is based off of. So you still have all the little details are from the artwork, so it is what it is, but it's just meh. So you got her face. This is kind of a little grainy of a picture, so I'm actually going to just move on past it and get one that's maybe a little bit better. So yeah, great prototype. Come on. Okay, I guess we'll start here. One thing I have liked about Kyoko all along is her braid. I really like the color of the braid. I like how tight it is and everything, and I think it just looks pretty good. We do see she has some very nicely colored thighs. She has some boots on, which have some straps on it, and they're pretty detailed. Lots of wrinkles. They do feel like they're worn leather. She is wearing an orange tie. She's got a little short jacket on. It's got some zippers on the sleeves. She is wearing some gloves with some metal studs on them. And she's got this look on her face. The eyes are done pretty nicely. I do like that little ring in them. I don't understand what the significance of the cup ramen is with her. I did watch the anime, but I don't really remember much about all the fine details and everything. But anyways, this cup ramen, you can see like the carrots and peas and corn and everything. The noodles are a blob, but they are there. So you got the broth. So it is a very detailed cup of ramen. From the back, her hair is kind of... the thing that pops into my head is it kind of feels like an octopus. So it's kind of that purplish color, and it's got lots of squiggly tentacles coming out of it. One thing I did notice, and I mentioned last time, was you don't see this on very many figures, but she's got this gradient, and it goes from lighter color and it goes to a darker color. But then she also has another gradient that goes to a white color. So yeah, it goes to dark purple and it goes to white. You don't see many figures with multiple different gradients in their hair. We do see underneath the tilted desk that she is supported by a clear plastic rod, which is ugly, but honestly, until I saw this picture, I didn't even know it was there, so they've done a good job of hiding it at least. Yeah. Her PDA is pretty detailed. And there's Monokuma, the little bastard that he is. And the answer to the important question with this figure is black. Yes, she is wearing black. So yay. If you don't like this figure of Kyoko, we have another one. This one is from Danganronpa 1/2 Reload. This one is manufactured by Flair and is a 1/7 scale figure. She came out January 13th of 2016, priced at 13,500 yen. Aftermarket wise, she's almost tripled. Yeah. That's a no for me. So we'll click and we'll look at her. So this one definitely has a very different art style to it. So the face definitely looks different. The hair is more of a white color. The outfit, it's a similar, pretty much the same outfit, but it just feels different. She's showing off her thighs. The skirt seems like cheap. It does have the pleats and everything, but there's not a whole lot of shading pretty much anywhere on this figure. We do have her braid, which is nice and long. From this angle, she's supposed to be resting her cheek on her fist a little bit, so it kind of squishes her cheek a little bit, and it looks a little bit pudgy. How many times can I say a little bit in the span of 30 seconds? A little bit. She is still wearing her tie. The zippers are very detailed. The little metal studs on her gloves are more pronounced in this figure. Yeah. There's Monokuma. So she has a base, and it looks like this would be the actual base. It's a clear disc, but it does have some frosting on it. You got the Monokuma and the Danganronpa logo and the checkerboard pattern. Honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of the face and hair on this one. If I had to choose between the two Kyokos that we've looked at today, I would prefer the other one. Here, the cup ramen makes another appearance. This time it has been spilled all over her head. You got the little shrimp and the corn and the noodles and whatever that thing is, just making a mess of her hair. Honestly, I don't think it fits this figure. With her serious facial expression and everything, it just doesn't fit. So I think she does look better without the cup ramen on her head. From the back, anytime now. Show us her from the back. So from the back, she's got an ear. The hair is more like flat strands. It feels less like an octopus and more like strips of paper. And it's that very light purple, lavender. It's almost white and not the best color in my opinion. The important question, the answer for her once again is black. And I've seen user pictures. I'm not going to look at them this time, but the skirt is removable. So yeah, from this picture, yeah, the hair, you can see it's layered and you can see like pieces are glued on underneath. It doesn't, seam lines don't look the best on the back of the hair. But if you like her, once again, you can buy her, but you better get a second job. So yeah, very expensive in the aftermarket. Tamamo. So now we shall move on to Rexlock. And Rexlock has suggested Mage from 7th Dragon 3 Code VFD. She is manufactured by Max Factory. This is the Azurin version of her. She is a 1/7 scale figure. She's supposed to come out in January of 2019. Don't expect her then. Price at 14,630 yen. So this one is another one of those that when I look at it, it just feels really busy to me and it's hard for my eyes to focus on anything. And it's not necessarily an art style that I personally like. I don't know anything about 7th Dragon, but I know it's getting lots of figures made from it. The hair is, she has a lot of hair. It's a like magenta-ish color. It does have this shading, like sunline effect or lighting effect, which it looks more like 2D lighting. So you got a couple streaks of white in her hair. She has quite a few layers on her. So you got this black overcoat, you got 2 layers of purple in the sleeve, you got the little frilly white layer, and then she also has some skin tight black sleeves. Her fingers have the ring finger and middle finger welded together in this pose that you will always notice once you realize that it exists. She is kind of an angry girl. Her eyes are squinted, her mouth is open, she's shouting. She has some nice looking stockings on her. Looking at her feet, this can't be a comfortable position to be standing in because this foot is completely twisted the wrong way, and this one is twisted the wrong way as well. So yeah, not a comfortable position to stand in. We do see there are lots of little details on her, especially like in her like torso region. So you got all these little details in her shirt. You got this purple strap, which goes down to this other piece of purple. And then you got her belts, which are pink, and they have a couple pouches on them. In my opinion, the strap and the pouches look rather cheap. I mean, yes, they are very detailed, but it, once again, just looks like cheap plastic. But her stockings, I think, are done very well. I do like this little floral pattern on them. And I do like that she is wearing some garter straps as well. You got this belt strap that is flying in the air. It's got a little metal buckle on it that would... Maybe I can speak. It would hurt if that flung around and hit you in the face. One thing I did notice that I wanted to mention is if you look at her horns on her headband, they have this purple streak on them, and when I first looked at it, I thought that was just similar to the hair streak. But if you look, it is actually very detailed, kind of like doily patterns, and it's just a nice little touch. So there's a good shot of her stockings and her feet pointing in the wrong directions. And the artwork that she is based off of. There's a good shot of her face. And you can see like the doily patterns on that purple effect I was talking about. She does have some teeth. And as I said, her eyes are kind of squinted. They are quite long. They are green. They're nice looking eyes, but it is what it is. So yeah, if you like this figure, you can buy her. As I said, don't expect her to come out in January because we all know how Good Smile and their affiliates have been going lately. And Max Factory was always bad for delays anyways. But they are a good company, so expect good quality figure. From the back, her hair is, the part line is sculpted very nicely. And yeah, overall, it's not a figure to my taste, but it doesn't look like a bad figure. So if you like her, buy her. And if you want the answer to the important questions, lavender. So we also have another Rem and a Ram. This is Rem and Ram from ReZero. This is an Ichiban Kuji prize figure. Yes, it's a prize figure, but Ichiban Kuji is like a lottery, and the figures do tend to be higher quality than the ones you would get from the Crane games. They are manufactured by Banpresto. They're in their Yonko mode last one version. They are only 5 inches tall, but they are kneeling down, and they came out May 12th of 2018. The lottery ticket was only 630 yen. But if you want to actually buy them, nothing obviously shown in the comments, but we can click on Solaris. And we see you can buy them from Solaris for $110 or $101 pre-owned. Now, yes, they are prize figures, but you're getting 2 of them. They are pretty decent quality look pretty decent in my opinion. So I actually do think that that $110 is a decent price for this. We only get the one picture because price figure, but we do have some Chan pictures. So we'll click on this one, and we see, once again, something that I mentioned on the other Rem figure is you got the blue hair, you got the pink hair, you got the eyes, and it's saturated. It's a good color blue, good color pink. It's not like faded, washed out. I'm sick and tired of all the faded, washed out colors. Saturated colors look good. So they were both wearing kind of like kitty hoodies. The hoodies, in my opinion, they are detailed, trying to look fluffy, but like especially with Ram, it once again looks like she's wearing a plastic shell that, they just put the plastic in the mold, spat it out, and there you go. No paint or anything. It's just bleh. They are kind of wearing like pajamas, so you got tank tops, you got little short shorts, you got some stockings, and I think the white pajama stuff looks very good on these two. The top is loose on both of them. So you got the strap gaps, which, as I said before, I love strap gaps. You got some nice cleavage. It doesn't even look like they're welded together. They are kind of playing patty cake with this hand and making little cat claws in the other hand. And yeah, flesh tone looks good. The sculpting looks good. Go over here and go back. Look at them from the back. So yeah, from the back, once again, definitely don't want to display them from the back. They do have the tails, but there's not much going on back there. We do see that they have a little plastic block base that they sit on, so their shins go into the little grooves and everything. They got little tiny feet. And scrolling down again, we'll click on a good close-up of their faces. So yeah, overall, I think they look pretty good. I do like the cleavage. I love the loose pajama look of them. And once again, you got the saturated colors. So, as I said, I do believe that $110 price tag is decent. If you don't, well, here's another picture of them. The flesh tone, I think, really looks good, and it contrasts so well with the white and the everything. It looks good. But if you don't like the black hoodie and the white hoodie, there is an alternate version where they are wearing hoodies that match kind of like their hair color. So you got a lighter blue for Rem, you got the light pink for Ram, and Ram's short. Their shorts have changed colors as well, but they still have that lovely flesh tone with the white tank tops and everything. I love the way white looks on these girls, and I think more figures need to have white clothing like this. I think it just looks good. Comparing this set with the other colors, I do prefer the colored set more. It looks less cheap, less shiny, less glossy, and it just looks better in my opinion. So yeah, if you like them, you can buy them. Ichiban Kuji, as I said, they are prize figures, but they do tend to be higher quality. I do own one, Haruna in a bikini. So yeah, if you like them, you can get them. So moving on from a prize figure to a very expensive figure. We have Ho-coho Seki from Kantai Collection. She is one of the Abyssals, one of the few Abyssals that have gotten a figure. She is being manufactured by Quest-Q. She is only 6 1/4 inches tall, so she is a smaller girl. She is supposed to come out in December of 2018. And she's priced at 21,500 yen. She is, in my opinion, overpriced, but she looks to be a very, very good figure. So when we were talking about the cat girl boat earlier, I had mentioned how her ship parts looked like they were just plastic. And this one, they do not look like they're just plastic. They look like they're made out of metal. They look rusted. They look like they're burning hot and everything. Yeah. This shows the very, like when you put a lot of time and attention into the details and everything, you can make a very high quality product that looks pretty good. I do own a few Quest Q figures, and all the ones that I own have turned out very well. So I have no reason to believe that this one will not turn out to be a good figure. She is very detailed. I mean, look at like the, I don't even know what these ball things are, but they've got horns, they got teeth, they got flames coming out of their mouth, they got cracks all over. It looks like metal, and it looks like it's, breathing fire and it's heating up and everything. This one, the mouth is open and you can see inside. You got flames coming out of both sides of its mouth. She is holding a little plane in her little mittened hand. Her toes are very, very detailed. These are some of the best toes I've seen on a figure. Toenails are painted. The answer to the important question is black. She is kind of a little lowly character, so she is small. You got the big giant ship that she's riding on. Once again, you got the teeth, you got the flames coming out of the mouth, you got guns, you got a crane coming off to the side. The crane has a mouth and teeth and flames and everything. And you got the little hook about ready to catch something and whack you in the face. Even the waves are very detailed. As she's cutting through the ocean, you got the frothing and everything. So yeah, I think this one is a very good looking figure. I think it's very detailed. I just don't think it's worth $200. $150, yes, but $200, yeah. She's got some big, wide open eyes, which are very round. She does have a couple gray eyebrows on her face. You can look under her skirt and see her belly a bit. Little mouth. I do kind of like the rusty, weathered look of the little, like the necklace and the strap around her mitten and everything, and the little ornaments. It looks very, very good, very realistic. I mean, obviously not realistic, but you know what I'm trying to say. Do we see her from the back? I don't remember if we do or not. Kind of a creepy, angry look on her face. The hair is kind of, it's smooth and flat and everything, but I don't think this figure actually needs a lot of detail in it. I think the smoothness actually works better for her. She does have the very pale whitish flesh tone. And there's the little plane. You got the little cockpit and everything, the propeller. There's a good look at the gunship that she's riding on. Looks like maybe even a little aircraft carrier. So yeah, very well detailed. Looks to be a very good figure. I mean, look at those toes. Do we see her from the back? Come on, show her from the back, damn it. Okay, from the back. Yeah, you would definitely want to display her from the front, but you do get, kind of blobby hair, but lots of strands going everywhere. You get all the details of the ship parts and the waves, and you get the shot at the booty and the important question, the answer to it. So yeah, very detailed, very good looking figure. I'm not going to buy this one, but if you like her, you can buy her. Just, as I said before, get a second job. Oh, and it looks like her little Hoge twists and turns as well. So yeah, she is very expensive. I do feel she is overpriced, but I do feel she will be a very good figure. And I don't think her price is going to go down in the aftermarket. So now we shall move on and close it off with Mindy's suggestions. So Mindy has suggested Kurosaki Maiya from To Live Through Darkness. She is manufactured by Alter and is a 1/7 scale figure. She came out May 13th of 2016 and is supposed to be re-released in December. So expect her middle of next year. She is priced at 12,800 yen. If you don't want to wait, you can buy her in the aftermarket for a little bit more. So we click and we look. So it's Maiya. She is wearing a tattered, like, dark blue outfit. She's got the capes and everything. You got the boots, buckles, and straps everywhere. You got a very, very long braid with lots of hair going everywhere. Strands, especially at the tip, past the little bead holding her hair together. She has smaller boobs and definitely interesting crotch area. I'm not the biggest fan of the crotch area. It is what it is, though. She has quite blue eyes, and she does have kind of an embarrassed look on her face. But, I mean, it kind of makes sense, considering all the flesh that she is showing off, and the fact that she has put her hand under her top and is groping herself. Yes, she is definitely groping herself. And if we look down in the crotch area, we do see that the fabric, I'm going to call it, is a little bit loose. So you do see some more flesh than you would normally see. We'll leave it at that because this is YouTube and YouTube is annoying. She is sitting on a desk, and the desk looks like a school desk. It does look like a polished wooden top on it. I do like how the cape is like hanging over the edge of the desk, so it's kind of got that sharp angle right there. Once again, she has that hand pose that I mentioned you will always notice once you are aware of it. Nice belly button and everything. From the back, eventually we'll see her from the back. Okay, so from the back. So her top is actually a hoodie. She does have a little bit of a gradient in her hair, so it is darker at the tips. It's got a nice little spine line. But overall from the back, it's a figure from the back. Not very interesting. But I do like the blue color and the dark blue. I always thought that she wore black, but I guess Alter decided to either take liberties or she actually does wear dark blue clothing. So yeah, this is an interesting figure. It's a nice, unique pose. Definitely exposing lots of goods without being overly in your face. Here's my vagina, and here's my nipples. So she is covered. So I would still say it's not safe for work, but it's not 18 plus or anything. So if you like her, get her, of course. Maiya never really was one of my favorite to love her girls, but she is what she is. If you like her, definitely try to get the re-release because it's cheaper. Moving on. Now we have another To Lover girl. This one is Nana Astar Deviluk from To Lover Darkness. She is manufactured by Max Factory. She is a 1/6 scale figure. Was released September 20th of 2017 and was priced at quintuple fives. Yes, quintuple ones. 5 ones. 11,111 yen. Minus the burp. Aftermarket wise, she has stayed pretty stable, maybe gone down a little bit. But she is part of the lingerie Venus line of all the To Lover girls that they're making. And personally, in my opinion, she's probably one of the worst ones, which is unfortunate because Nana doesn't get a whole lot of love. It's all about Momo, but Nana can be pretty good too. But as I said, personally, I don't like the way that her lingerie looks on her, and her face does feel a little bit off too. She is more of a flat-chested girl, which is probably why Momo gets all the love because Momo has boobs. But I don't like the glossy effect on the cami part or whatever it's called. I'm not a fashionista. I do like her tail, and it's got a nice little gradient at the tip and everything. Her stockings are quite shiny. She is wearing some garter straps holding up her stockings, and I'm kind of confused because, like with Rem, the straps went under the underwear, so that if she had to do her business, it would be easier to take them down. But this time, Nana is wearing them with the straps over her underwear, so she would have to unbutton everything. So I'm not, like I said, I'm not a fashionista. I'm not into women's fashion or anything. So maybe that's how you're supposed to wear it. But I've always thought that you're supposed to have the garter straps under. She does have some nice long pink hair, and she is wearing a veil with some red roses in her hair. There's her gray prototype. There she is from the back. So from the back, I really love her hair and all the details in it. That is some very, very nice hair. It's got some good shading, good highlights, good lowlights, got strands, and it's got a good flow to it. She's got a nice little booty hiding back there, and you got her tail coming out, of course. The veil is just basically a blob of transparent plastic. Meh. Veils never really look good on figures, in my opinion. Sometimes they do, but most of the times they don't. She is kind of looking off to the side. She's got the little O mouth. It's got a pretty well-defined clavicle. Her belly button is hidden by her shirt, and she has a bit of a camel toe. She has a very wide a very wide thigh gap, and her crotch is very flat. So yeah, as I said, overall, I do believe this is one of the worst ones of the To Love Ru lingerie girls, wedding lingerie. If we click over here, we can see the ones that have been released already. I do believe they are making the Lala finally. Figures the main character of the show gets the last figure, even though she was supposed to be the main character, but wasn't the main character. But anyways, looking at the whole set, once again, I do feel Nana was one of the worst. I do also feel that Mikan was one of the worst. Haruna is Haruna. I don't like her, so meh, we're not even going to look at her. Maiya and Momo, I do think turned out the best of this set. I do like how Maiya is showing off her belly, and she is showing off a lot more flesh. But yeah, I just feel they put a little bit more attention to detail and the curves and everything in Momo. So yeah. But I do know a lot of people are buying this whole set, and they love them. It's not a set for me, but they do look like they're pretty good quality figures and everything. So if you like them, you can buy them. So yay. So yeah, that's Let's Browse episode number 67. There are a few more not safe for YouTube suggestions, but not enough to make another, part 2 of this. I am building them up, so if your suggestion is, of a lewd figure, don't worry, I haven't forgot you. We'll cover it eventually, but just not today. And if I missed your suggestion or I attributed it to someone else, forgive me. It's been a while. Lots of bad things have happened this month. As I said, May has been very mean to me. So that's where I've been. Whoops, I didn't want to do that. That's where I've been the past couple weeks. And yeah, we'll end with Hanabi. Anyways, I hope everyone enjoyed. Feel free to leave your suggestions for the next episode. Remember to follow the rules there in the description. And join the Discord. Say hi. Stuff gets posted there. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed. I'm out. Bye-bye.